Well, look no further because I got one for you. If you are looking for fast, efficient, and honest, Source Forensics is your go-to. Since 2003, they have been converting weddings, baptisms, sports, and other videos. They have become a reputable and well-known video conversion service. Their team is up for every job, managing projects with the skill and experience their clients have come to expect. They want their customers to be satisfied with their work, which is why they provide open communication channels throughout the duration of each project. Trust Source with all your precious memories stored on various legacy formats, VHS tapes, DVDs, CDs, mini DVDs, cassettes, old vinyl, and 35mm slides. Whatever the job is, they got you covered. Contact them at 401-203-5019. Again, that's 401-203-5019, or visit their website at www.sourceforensics.com. Again, that's www.sourceforensics.com. Now for our episode. All right. For the first time ever, I welcome on the Coaches Roundtable of some of the Rhode Island's finest basketball coaches in the area. Today, I welcome on head coach Pilgrim, the head coach of Pilgrim, Coach Matt Fontaine, the head coach of St. Pat's, Coach Rack. I'm not even going to try it. Head coach of North Smithfield, Coach DiPaola, the head coach of Prout, Coach Felicetti, and the head coach of Mount St. Charles and the Rhode Island Basketball Coaches Association president, Coach Henry Coleman. Guys, how are you today?
Very good.
Great.
Doing good.
You really got through that, Jeff. That was good. You didn't stumble or anything.
I did my best. I've been butchering people's last names, so I don't know what's going on lately.
Apparently, Coach Mac, Coach Rake for the last few years. So I gotta
send you a shirt, I guess, Dean.
Everybody gets St. Pat's gear apparently, sponsored by Nike. We got to figure out what's going on.
Love that shirt, Jeff.
Hey, thank you very much for sending it to me. I really appreciate it. But guys, how are all you doing? Like, how was your holidays? How are you guys doing, like, with the upcoming announcement of the season?
Like a kid on Christmas. It's like, I opened my gift that we're starting on, January 4th, so that's January 11th. So I'm a kid on Christmas getting ready for that season.
I know we've been pushed back a couple times. Right now we're slated for January 4th. So right now I'm going with that mindset. And as far as letting our team know that we're good to go soon enough. Right now we're at 7 more days. So we're ready as far as coming the 4th. If anything changes, it changes at this point.
Yeah, same with us. We're slated for the 11th right now. So just kind of waiting for tryouts. Still getting a couple signups, some late signups, which is great. But just trying to hope for the best, and we'll see what happens by the 11th.
Yeah, same here with Warwick. We're just trying to really truck through right now. We're trying to iron out official start date time, but getting everyone registered. I think I speak for all the coaches. We spent a lot of time doing a lot of Zoom clinics and everything. We just want to put all the information we got this off season and see what we can really get to work in a shortened season this year. But I think we're all pretty excited to get back on the court.
It'd be really good to engage with the kids. It's so difficult through Zoom. I think being back in the gym with the kids, and they need it. They need that routine. They need, even though the season's shortened, they need the craziness. And you would think that it would be easy for the kids to get their paperwork in, because home or or hybrid or a little of both. But I'm still waiting on paperwork.
Oh yeah, me too.
It makes no sense. Well, that's all right.
How do you guys prepare for, like, you guys had such a long off season, and now your season's starting up, in a couple weeks, and you prepare for a short season? What do you do to prepare your kids to get, like, in tryouts, like, and in workouts? What are you doing to get them ready from such a long off season? Like, have any of your guys played, of as well too?
Well, I think, this season's been a little bit different, the off season, in that it's run a little bit longer. And there are obviously rules that we had to follow, not unlike other years, except, add COVID. So between contact tracing and our pods and not mix and matching kids, we do our best to get the kids going. And I know some coaches or some superintendents allow the use of gyms, others don't. So we're outside. But without scrimmaging, and, a lot of us play in summer leagues, I can speak for most of the coaches here. We need the competition. So we can do as much skill work and drill work as we can, and we're allowed to. But the fact is, without the competition, it's just not the same. And I mean, these guys, I'm sure, will attest.
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak for ourselves. In recent years, we usually play in Henry's summer league, which has been great. So normally we'll get to practice 2-3 times a week and in the summer, and then we'll play 2 games a week in Henry's league. And then in the fall season, we'll try to get the guys in the weight room, do some running or some conditioning stuff in the hallways, do some ladders, but aren't allowed to do any basketball work. But so usually we get to see the guys for a good 3 months. But this year, literally since the season ended, I haven't seen or been able to work with the guys at all. Our school was pretty strict on all the COVID regulations, so we weren't able to do anything in the summer. I know some of the guys played some pickup outside, some captains practices, but for the most part, with a small school like North Smithfield, we had 90% of our kids play multiple sports. Most play 3 sports. So most of our guys were playing soccer and prepping for football, which didn't happen. But so it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really rough to start the year because most of these guys haven't touched the ball in a long time.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. That's perfectly said. Like, I just had a Zoom with a bunch of my players, and I didn't know, like, four of them. Like, who are you? Show me your face. I have no idea who you are. And usually, we're playing in Henry's summer league where I get to know the kids and the freshmen, the transfers coming in and seeing what they're like and building that relationship. But, building a relationship over Zoom when they have their camera off or I only see half their forehead like that, it's a little tough. So that's one adjustment. Another adjustment I told for my guys, like, we're gonna be wearing masks. And in AAU, some of the guys play AAU and they're not wearing masks in AAU. And we're such a small school. I probably have like 11 kids on the team that, and I play a short bench. They're gonna have to get used to playing with a mask and playing with a mask for a long time. So that's the biggest thing I went over with them today. Like, start running with a mask, start playing ball with a mask. Find a mask that's comfortable. All adjustments that every team has to make. But I think, the kids have to realize, I can't just come on the 4th and put a mask on and think it's going to be, perfect. So I think that's one big adjustment they all have to make.
Yeah. I think everyone's kind of hit everything this off season. Like, I was thinking about it literally just today. It was like March, obviously. Like, we had just missed out on the state playoffs last year. We had just finished our exit interviews with everyone, and that was really the last time I saw everybody. And last time I was in the gym, last time I was in the school. I know some of them did do some AAU in the fall and summer. So some of them were able to play, and some guys are doing pickup. I know they were playing outside at the different outdoor courts in Warwick. But like Greg just said, like, I had a meeting with them, and I've messaged a bunch of them and told them all to get used to playing with a mask. I said that a while ago, just because the things you're hearing of what we're going to have to do, what we're not going to have to do. So playing with the mask was something that I've kind of told them all for a while now. But yeah, it's been weird. Like, I know a lot of us go to that Wally Seaver tournament in just kind of kick off the summer. Like, that's kind of our way to kick summer off, and we're all hoping to get to that, and we obviously missed that as well. So, like summer, we usually do just a couple workouts and set up scrimmages pretty much with all the guys that we text with that are in this. So again, we missed a lot and a lot of time to get to know your team. And now we're just going to start really fast. Some are going to start on the 4th, some are going to start on the 11th. Games start 10 days after that. And then blink of an eye, the season's going to be over. So it's like, it's going to be, you have to tell them to come and be ready. And that's all you can stress to them.
Yeah.
And all things considered with this whole situation, obviously not being able to really do much for workouts, considering the circumstances, just been stressing the message to the kids that a lot of this you're going to have to do on your own, whether it's as far as skill work or conditioning. We were lucky enough in the fall to actually get into the gym once a week for about an hour and a half. We had them with the mask on, doing different drills and whatnot, working on the fundamentals. And it was definitely a different experience for them. You could see it conditioning wise, how much of an impact wearing a mask has. Then obviously we hit the pause. We haven't done anything since. During this vacation week, I thought it'd be a good idea to start doing some conditioning workouts through Zoom, just to try to get them ready as best as possible once we hit the floor running come January 4th.
Henry, what are you doing?
What's that?
You doing like you leading aerobics out there on the Zoom, or what are you doing?
No, I'm actually doing it with the kids. So basically each morning at 9 a.m. we put in about a good 30 minutes with some water breaks in between. But we're working all aspects with cardio, as far as core, you name it. But like I said, I'm right there with them going through it each day, and we've been having great numbers. And like I said, I think one of the most important pieces to this season is going to come down to conditioning. Who has the best conditioned teams? Obviously, skill work and everything else is important, but just wearing that mask is going to have a major impact.
I think the fractions are the coaches are held accountable, I believe. So if masks are an issue, then the coach gets a T. It happens twice, too technical. So we, from day one, have to be all over it as coaches. So, the kids understand that there's a consequence to, a mask below the chin, or they rip it and throw it on the ground, or whatever that is, then there's a major impact to the coaches, to the team, to everybody.
Do you guys have is there a specific mask you guys have to wear, or do you guys get yelled at for putting your mask?
I don't know if I showed you this. I might have earlier before we were recording. I have a URI mask. I don't know if you saw it. There's a premier basketball team, college D1 team, next to Bryant. I think they're the only two D1 schools. Sorry.
A shot at Prout.
Weren't they supposed to play?
The other thing
What?
Isn't URI supposed to play against BC this year? Didn't something happen? I don't know. Did they play Farley Dickinson or something, BC? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's pretty sad when the two top Division I teams in the state can't get together and play against each other.
Here we go.
Very sad Bryant and PC couldn't play, I know.
There it is. Well, Bryant's averaging, 109 points a game at this point.
They're shooting the lights out from three-pointer.
They're shooting them in under 7 seconds.
Highest percentage shot.
Yeah. A layup.
But is it do you guys get a technical if you put your mask down, the coaches or anything? If you go to talk to someone, is it do you get fined? Is it the NBA? You're gonna get a big fine? What's gonna happen?
We'll let Dean let us know.
Basically, there's kind of as far as a process. The first time would be a warning. After that, as far as the second time, they would have the kid come out of the game. Third time tech, second tech, coach is ejected. So it's pretty severe. But at the same time, obviously, you want to try and keep it as safe as possible, just to have some type of season. And kids basically just have to get used to it, along with the coaches on the sideline as well.
And now, are you guys making copies of your logo on it, or is Dean going to hand out all the URI ones to every team he plays?
At St. Pat's, we got Nike ones, Nike masks. So
it's a nice shirt.
I'll send it to everybody if they want to wear them during our games. But yeah.
I'll just cut
Well,
out
when you
the
come
P.
to Prout, you can bring one for me. You've seen the
course.
size of my head too, right, Coach? So you might need a couple. Look at the size
There we
of this
go.
thing. That
All
little
that
mass
knowledge.
will be here.
All
You know
that
what I mean?
knowledge in there. Michigan.
Yeah, the knowledge. Like a brontosaurus.
So will you guys be able to, will anyone be able to attend the game? Can I attend the game if I wanted to? Am I allowed to attend the game?
Just wear that shirt and you'll get in any game. You know?
Think
No,
of
so
it,
it's
man.
gonna be-
at our home games, they're not allowing any fans. But I know it's up to each different school if they're allowing fans. Our gym that we play in, our home gym, is very small, so they're not allowing fans in. But I think it depends on each school.
Yeah, we're not doing fans either, but I know our AD is trying to work on getting a live stream going so parents could at least watch it, which is great. I mean, I think it's going to be tough where if there are some schools that allow it and some schools that don't, trying to explain that or trying to organize lists. I know for soccer, they had like a 2 limit list per player. So like if you wanted to attend the game, you had to sign up under a certain player. I don't know if they're going to be that strict with it for basketball. I guess it's going to depend on each school.
Yeah, I would think most schools probably are going to pass on having any fans there, even if they're allowed. I know right now with the state, you can only have so many people per square footage in an area. So it's just going to be so limited. And then, like I said, then you're picking and choosing. Will you allow JV fans to come in and then have to leave the grounds and then varsity come in? So I think most are just going to probably play it safe, and we probably won't have any for the most part. Maybe playoffs.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, same. I believe they got some live stream cameras set up now in Pilgrim. So if not, I was already going to plan on trying to figure out a way to stream it. So we have a meeting coming up this week. I think it's going to kind of outline everything for us. So I'm still kind of not knowing too much about that at this moment. But by the time this gets aired, I'm sure we'll know more by then.
And then the other cool thing with the live streaming, obviously it's great for the parents, for the fans. The other thing, which is going to be different for coaches, we're not going to be able to scout in person, which definitely changes it up quite a bit. But at least you have that alternative option with the live streaming, being able to break down game film to show your kids, to put together game plans.
You're going to be home. Like your kids are going to be like, who is this guy during January and February?
I know too many times we're crossing paths out in the scouting.
Yeah, every single night I go scouting, I see Henry with his notebook in the stands. Like, hey, there he is.
Yeah, my kids are gonna be wondering as far as, is Daddy actually coaching right now, or what's going on?
There's obviously a lot of fun things in coaching, but scouting to me is probably my favorite. That's one of the top things. I love going to games.
I know.
Ooh, I'll miss that. But Brendon, when are your cameras going up? Your cameras up yet? Your streaming cameras?
Can you stream practices?
The way we had technical difficulties with my mic today, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I think you're safe.
So how is it like broken up in division for you guys' schedule as well too?
I think the president can take that one.
Hi, President.
Sure, I'll fire away. So basically, this was a one-year realignment. The breakdown ended up being in Division I, we had 2 leagues. We have 1 league of 9. We have 1 league of 8. The schedule for them is actually unbalanced. So some teams are going to play 10 league games. Some teams are going to play 9 league games. Division II, it got split up into 2 leagues of 10. They'll have 20 teams all together. And then in Division III, it's 3 leagues of 5. And basically, it's all split up through regions to try and keep it as close as possible. But there will be crossover games. So you will play teams out of your league. And the breakdown for playoffs basically will be in Division I. They're going to have 10 teams. They're going to have the top 5 from each of the leagues qualify. Division II, it'll be the top 5 from each of the 2 leagues for 10. And then in Division III, it'll be the top 3 out of each of those 3 leagues. So giving them basically 9. So we'll go 10, 10, and 9 for playoffs. Playoffs will be at home school sites all the way through into the semis. And then finals, they haven't determined what they're going to do for a location.
Any of you guys playing?
We are.
Who's playing against each other?
I get to play against St. Pat's and North Smithfield.
I don't get anybody here. I miss my matchup with Dean. It's usually our kickoff to the
It's a fun time. I wish until for Prout, we're choosing not to have non-league games. So it's not even like we could schedule a game for non-league. Some schools, and that's a school's choice, I believe. I don't know if that's, mandated throughout the league, but I know for us, we're not playing any non-league. And quite frankly, it would be really difficult for us to do that right now anyway, especially with Coach Fontaine's team either starting the 11th, we don't quite know yet. It'll be tough to schedule. So that's the other thing. But yeah, I miss that would be nice.
Go ahead, Dean. You can finish it up. My bad.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I got Mount. I got North Smithfield. I got Prout, and the loser of the winner of the Prout game has to take the other person out to Applebee's. So that's our.
That's a good deal.
$20 worth.
And then St. Pat's and ourselves, Greg, we get to go up to Gators our last game of the regular season.
All right, let's make the same thing. Same deal.
Same deal.
Nice.
Brendon, we're home and home. So if you want to play, pick a place to go after each game, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, we have to sleep overnight.
I know it is
kind of a long road trip.
Yeah, we got an hour commute.
A West Coast trip.
Yeah, but no. What I was gonna say was, it's a little different this year. Like our first 5 games, we literally go game practice, and it's insane. So we also aren't going to be doing any non-league games. But speaking about the divisions, there's actually a few new teams now in Division 1, and then a few teams that bumped down in Division 2. I was just looking at it. For example, we have Shea is up in D1 this year. Barrington's up in D1. Narragansett's up in D1, which is crazy. One of the smallest schools in the state.
Pilgrim.
Westerly. Yep,
Coach Gleason.
Pilgrim. Oh, no.
Oh, no. They didn't make it.
He's up there, right? They've been really successful lately. They got to be D1, right?
Soon enough.
All right. My bad.
No, it's tough this year with scheduling too. It's I want to do some non-leagues. I want to be able to give the kids some extra games, but even still, like you run into some problems of like if you do play another game against another team, you just run the risk of just close contact stuff. And the last thing you want is to have a close contact situation kind of stop you from playing for a week, and then all of a sudden you have kids miss a week and you don't know where you stand now as a team. So it's like you got to kind of like pick and choose the days. And I'm kind of thinking about leaving some days open right now. And then say if we're supposed to play a couple teams and there's 2 games in a row where we're not playing because those teams are in quarantine, it's like, well, maybe I can pick up a non-league game now just to keep the kids fresh. It's like a lot of things outside of just coaching the game of basketball this year that we're all going to have to like be thinking about nonstop. Like you could literally go another week without playing. So it's going to be a very hectic 5 to 6 weeks, whatever it breaks down to. But I'm looking forward to it. At least it's something for us.
Honestly, though, like to start the year out when you normally go, like we usually don't play league games. We usually get 5 non-league games. So we usually play in a tournament in the Coventry tournament. So we get a few chance to go at, sometimes a D1, D2 team, or sometimes even some D3 teams. But not having that opportunity now with the games back to back to back, I honestly don't even want to schedule any non-conference games just because of like, how are we going to prep if normally we get two days in between each game? Maybe late in the season, we'll have a three-day, 3-game week. But for the most part, if normally you have one practice to work on the game prior, also you can run them a little bit, put in some new stuff, and then you have the next day to actually prep for the next team. Now it's literally like one day in between. So you have to go to your pregame practice. So your pregame practice is now not including conditioning. So it's like, all right, well, that's shooting heavy, but now we're not conditioning. So it's like you have like when you have a 5-game stretch in 10 days, it's just insane. Like it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
Trying to find that balance.
And then trying to look at the weather to see if we'll have any snow.
That's the
Oh,
other
God.
thing that can be factored in.
There's a lot
And
of
the other thing is too, for the fact that basically we have our 10 practices and then our first game counts towards playoffs, where typically in the past, as Brandon mentioned, at least you can get like 2, 3, maybe 4 non-league games under your belt. So you can start to put the kids as far as into maybe some type of, as far as figure out who your starting 5 are, what you're going to be looking at for subs. They're just getting thrown right into the fire. It is what it is. So it'll be interesting.
That's crazy. That's not. I didn't even think about the snow aspect of the whole thing too. That didn't even cross my mind. What's it like? What do you guys? How many games do they win to get into playoffs? Like, how's that going to work too?
Basically, for that, it's not a certain number. You just have to finish in a certain place. So in Division 1, you have to finish in the top 5 in your league. Division 2, it'll be the same thing, top 5 in your league, and then Division 3, it'll be top 3 out of the 5 in your league. So there will certain years we've had certain number of wins to qualify. This year it won't be.
Oh, I didn't see. I thought there was the other. I thought it was just top 9 of the whole D3. So all right, that makes sense. I like it.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, that's nice for you.
No, to throw another twist to it, we're playing quarters this year.
Yeah.
Which,
I love quarters. Coming from I coached in Mass for a year, and just like I know some people don't like quarters, but like there's a couple things you can do with quarters. One, you have an extra timeout. Like all right, my team's struggling right now. All I got to do is make it to the end of the quarter. But then also you can like sometimes I want to get a kid a minute or 2 minutes a game. I throw them in at the end of the first quarter with 2 minutes. But guess what? You're coming out after the end of the quarter. Like, but it's just I love having quarters. It's just that extra timeout and the extra thing, and you have that like time where it's like, all right, there's 2 minutes left on the clock. I can do time and situation here and stuff like that. So I'm a fan of quarters.
And the other thing is too, I think it's really going to come in handy for the fact that the game's going to be broken up. So especially if you're a thin team, you don't have a deep bench, the game gets broken up. Plus, actually with COVID, the quarters, there's going to be a halfway point of each quarter where there's going to be a water break. So that's going to break up the game even more. So like I said, the teams that are limited with their depth, it's really going to be beneficial this year having those quarters.
Love it.
I go the other way. I like
Coach Rack is going to be using the Iron 5 just like Davies back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Hockey stuff. I like halves. I just think more kids run. I mean, it's only a couple will ever play the full game in halves. But I also understand, I've only, we try to play Connecticut team. We've played Coach Cobb. We've played Coach Leslie at Stonington. There is a different dynamic to the quarters. I mean, I guess, for us, it's going to be obviously new, and I'm fairly certain that the trend will continue. I think the likelihood of us doing 4 quarters 1 year is probably pretty low. That's my opinion. I think we'll be back.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the quarters. And just watching college basketball and like you watch the NBA, like you see these coaches get these timeouts and like they can sit there and talk to their coaches for like a minute, 2 minutes with these TV timeouts and then go talk to the team. It's like when we have a full timeout, by the time the kids get to the bench and find their water bottle and then sit down, then all of a sudden you hear the horn and they got to go back out. It's like, that's part of like, granted, that's part of being a coach is like getting the kids in settled in a timeout, but having that extra time to maybe make an extra adjustment and then save extra timeout for the end of the game. Like it's going to give us all opportunities, especially in a year where we don't maybe have enough practice time to really save those timeouts for end of games, to like set up that end of game play, set up a scenario that we can be ready for. Because remember, we are dealing with high school kids. So we can practice as much as we want in a normal year, but you can't get to everything. I think me and Greg and all of us were talking about it just a few weeks ago on a Zoom we were doing, and we were talking about how like when do we ever get to trying to do the time and score stuff? Like some guys put it in right away, some guys focus on other things first. It's like really what you pick and choose as a coach. So having that extra time, maybe saving a couple extra timeouts for an end of the game will be I think beneficial for me at least. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Henry kind of hit it on the head too, is the conditioning factor is going to be big with the quarters. My JV coach Ant was just saying this in our group chat the other day, that the veteran teams are going to have such an advantage this year with a shortened season. Like if you have a vet team, then you have, your starting 5 or 4 guys returning, that you have your core group that already know their sets. You already know their presses. You don't have to put much in. It's just more of a refresh. You're going to have much more of an advantage for a team like us who's completely restarting. We have one returning varsity guy. So it's like now we start brand new, have to reteach. It's going to, it's a big learning curve where those veteran teams with a limited schedule, it's going to be a big advantage for them.
Do you say this is probably the toughest year you guys are going to have coaching?
It already has been.
Yeah.
Man.
I also think it's the most
February
exciting.
on.
Sorry, Dean. My bad. I think it's the most exciting too. Like anybody, yeah, Dean. Anybody like you don't know like if one team goes out with COVID, like you have a chance of winning it all. Like there are so many different factors. Like a star player, if Keith Wilson goes down, I might be in a little bit of trouble, so like if a star player goes out on another team, like you might be playing a whole different team. So I think it's like exciting going into the season. Like it's up for grabs. Like even if you think you're the worst team in the league, you still got a shot. Like, teams forfeiting, teams, teams getting sick and stuff like that. I know it stinks, with teams getting sick and all that kind of stuff, but I think anybody's got a shot this year, and especially D3 is definitely like there's no one team that's like, oh, that team, like, that no one's going to beat that team. So I think it's exciting, except for Prout. Prout's going to be definitely.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The Crusaders, I think, took the preseason ranking number 1. I want to say.
I saw the numbers in the schedule. We're nowhere near number 1. Okay.
Dunkzilla.
Yeah, what put him over the top was that Dunkzilla, the team culture.
Exactly. That's a big factor.
Yeah, but that's what we're supposed to build it, the summer. The T-shirts would have been made. They would have been happy when we did our off-season stuff. But, I think they're in for a treat come tryouts. First time being in the gym, and then, that first conditioning and those defensive slides. We'll see what happens.
And then Dunkzilla in the middle of the court. Just
right in the middle. Yeah, we got rid of the Crusader logo. It's a proud
Nice.
dunk. Listen, you know what? We got clowned on the internet. Now I know how to change things. I'm constantly learning.
That was an exciting 2 weeks. That was like our March Madness.
Yeah.
Seeing the brackets, seeing how it all played out.
Well, I'm glad Dunkzilla made it through. I was very. I had my prop bet.
That was all these guys conspiring to put out votes, including, when you're getting retweets from the East Greenwich helmet militia, then for kids to vote for Dunkzilla. I'm getting texts from my players going, Coach, these guys are just screwing with us because that name is stupid. I'm like, I don't care. This is how it works, baby.
Dunkzilla dominated all double-figure victories.
Story of the year.
Dunkzilla in the voting.
What was that?
What seed was Dunkzilla? Was it 16?
16. It was ridiculous. Dude,
Upset
16.
City. Upset City.
Ridiculous. Timmy Time, Dunkzilla, Coach Page. Was a debacle. Now I know to keep it internal. Screw you guys and all the coaches on here too, by the way, because it's your fault. That's it. You try to do something nice.
I thought it was a good name. I was just voting for the good name.
Yeah, okay.
I actually helped design some of the apparel.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, Coach Coleman says in the text group a picture of a T-shirt with Godzilla breathing fire in the city and Dunkzilla
with a Prout jersey on.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Boy.
Yeah. No, I'm having issues.
I gotta get one of those shirts. Send me one of those.
Yeah. I think everybody needs a Dunkzilla shirt.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think the next coaches roundtable, we're all gonna wear Dunkzilla shirts.
Listen, you give me a St. Pat shirt,
Yeah.
Coach Rack.
Oh yeah. I'll give you 5 St. Pat shirt for 1 Dunkzilla shirt.
Those are gonna be collector's item pieces.
Yeah, you can even give me like a Russell Athletic or like, whatever. I'll give you like 5 Nike for 1 Russell Athletic Dunkzilla.
No way. That's that BS Nike that you bought the iron on and you did it yourself and you try to sell the kids fundraising that you were giving them Nike. That thing's gonna peel right off. Just don't watch it. Oh, come on.
Don't
Real.
watch it.
Jeff can vouch for it. It's real.
It's real. Yeah, it's real.
In the middle of the interview, it falls off.
Yeah. I would probably just leave.
So do you guys have any good stories of coaching against each other, or anything like going up against each other? Any good stories about coaching against each other or games?
Yeah, my first league win against Dean. So something I have hanging on my wall. First win
Really?
against Coach Dean.
It was a good game. Your place was nuts.
Wasn't there a little wager off on the side?
Oh, that's right.
Somebody
The
had to
tie.
wear somebody a tie or
Well,
something.
that was a PC. It wasn't even our game wager. It was PC versus URI before. So the first year PC won, and Dean showed up with a nice friar tie, and he never wears a tie. I didn't know that going into that. And then last year I couldn't wear a tie last year. I just couldn't. It was like I was against ties. But I unfortunately wore for the whole game. I wore the URI Atlantic 10 ring on my finger the whole game. But I guess
here we
fair is
go.
fair with
Oh,
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
that's a nice ring, coach.
That's awesome. That's
Brandon's first win was against me, actually. Your first win ever, right? As a head coach.
It was, yeah. Yeah, we were in D2 that year. Actually, pretty funny. I was gonna tell a story about Dean, not such a good one for me. But
But listen, and this is not all right, go ahead.
So we were in D2 my first year, and we went to Prout. He probably had about 10 and ones in the first half. And that's
Amazing.
That's no lie. It was literally insane. Like they were throwing up like runners from 3 and they were getting and ones. It was ridiculous. Dean was up 40 at halftime. 40. I don't even know if we scored double digits. And we were walking to halftime, and I didn't really know Dean at the time. And he literally just looks at me and goes, "What just happened?"
But were those the words I used or no?
Probably a little bit worse than that.
No. Well, we shot 80%. 80.
holy crap.
Threes, twos. I've never seen anything like
It was
it.
insane.
But you probably felt knowing that we won 4 games that year, so that was cool. We scored more points in that game, I think, than we did.
Proud Jim's lights out, Dean. That's where we shot like 65% against you last
You
year.
guys killed us. We zoned you up too. I'm like, yeah, we'll zone them up. We can't cover a man. Then you guys shot 63% or 64% the first half. I'm like, oh, God.
It was something just sitting there. It was like, it was something.
That's good. I mean, that's how it works. The flow.
Then I thought Dean was going to rip my head off because we second half we're beating Dean. Me and Dean joke with each other, and I'm still in the coaching mindset the whole game. And we threw up, or one of their guys had missed a shot and it missed the rim, and the refs missed the shot clock violation. I'm calling for it, shot clock. And Dean's like, really, up 20? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Dean. I was like texting him all night, apologizing. I'm like, that was wrong of me. Just get in the mode.
Yeah, you don't want to press when you're up by 40 in a playoff game or anything like that,
And I guess if we're talking about some of these stories, they seem to all revolve around me, which is kind of bad. I guess it's always.
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to point it out.
Why? I'll go again, but it wasn't even a head coach. When I was an assistant, I didn't even know Brendon, and I was at Coventry. We were D1, and he brought his team in. Was that a D3 team, Brendon, then, or
Yeah?
That was but they came in and just took it to us. It was the holiday tournament, and like we had a good Coventry team that year too, and they just was like a little eye-opening experience, I think, for some of the guys thinking that they'd just walk over a North Smithfield team, and nope, they came in and took it to us in every facet of the game. So that was my first experience at Brendon.
And that's it just summarizes high school basketball. It makes it awesome. Brendon going into Westerly, which is almost impossible to play. Their fans are crazy. It's so much fun. And Brendon had a win in Westerly, right? Was it 2 years ago?
Oh, wow.
Like that,
Yep.
huge. Like that's like it's stuff like that where the kids just when they're hitting their shots and everything's going right, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Wish we all had more of that, but that's the epitome. And that's the other thing too. Like, we missed the Christmas tournaments, the holiday tournaments this year, the non-league. So and the scouting, again, those are the things that as coaches we probably enjoy just as much as the wins, in league.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the whole atmosphere down at the Westerly tournament. It was always great when I was coaching at Shea. They had a bunch of D2 teams down there, so I could scout basically 3 teams with one trip, and plus the place would be packed. It was just electric. Like I said, just that whole scouting, though, you miss that aspect of all of it.
Yeah, it's honestly like high school basketball is like a poor man's NCAA tournament. It's like any night, anything could happen. It's like, how many times as coaches have we been like, oh, let that kid shoot. He has 2 threes on the season. It's like senior night, and then he bangs 4 threes on us. Like, you just don't know, because, at the end of the day, they're varsity athletes, and they could all play, or they wouldn't be out there, and anything could happen. It's like sometimes the centers hit threes, sometimes they're hitting fadeaways, sometimes a kid will have 18 on you and he's had 12 for the season. Like, it's just crazy, but it makes it fun, and that's what makes it so much fun, especially going against good coaches, because you never know what you're going to get.
And the funny thing is, Brendon just mentioned that, like, I got to play against him on his senior night, so I knew he'd be starting some kids that hadn't played much. So I was like, you know what? We're coming out with pressing, as far as we were going to come out with our zone trapping. And little did I know, some of the senior players that didn't play much, I think like 2 or 3 straight threes to start the game, and we already put ourselves in a hole. I'm like, he hasn't even put in his starters yet. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yep. That's exactly it. Like, that game, we had a win to make playoffs that year too. And we were kind of all panicking, like, all right, well, you obviously want to have your seniors play. It's senior night. I think we had 7 seniors at the time, and we had our 2,000-point kids on the bench to start. So, like, our seniors just came out and they were just lighting it up, because you never know. It's like the hype of senior night could go one or two ways.
Yes.
If you've been coaching for a while, it's like, it's either really good or really bad. But that night, it was really good for us. But it's always fun. It's a blast.
Brendon, you brought up a good point, though. It's like high school basketball. It's like March Madness. It's like, and just like every night, anything can happen. Like, some of the fun of coaching is also after the game, wherever you go with your other coaches, and just seeing all the scores come in, and just seeing who did well, who didn't do well, who got upset, or when you call the Providence Journal and you hear them say, oh, did you hear about this game or that game? It's like no, like, but I'll read about it now. And like now with like all the Instagram accounts and social media accounts, like you're kind of able to see everything quickly now. So it's just like, that's so much fun, just like being out with your coaching staff after like a hard fought win or a tough loss, and just kind of like regrouping, and just like that. It's just fun. It's just like everything about it. It gets you through the winter. Like, it's such in the Northeast and Rhode Island, that's a long time, the winter months. Like I don't know what to do right now. It gets dark so early. Like, it's crazy.
And the other fun part is, as we get towards the end of the season, I know a bunch of coaches, we start doing bracketology. We start figuring out what we're looking at for potential playoff matchups, how it all could break down. And then obviously the last night of the regular season, we're all getting together. We're trying to trade game film, scout reports. It's just a great time of year.
Fun messing with Kevin Randall from Barville, because he still does it on paper. Like, he doesn't know it's 2020.
He really
Excel
does.
spreadsheet.
And sorry, Kevin, I know you're going to watch this, but use a computer.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, talk about coaches, like a veteran coach like Kev. It's like, that's also another good thing about like such a small state, us like really getting to know each other so well. Like, in my 6th years, I've probably played Kev like, I don't even know, I'm make it up, like 12 times. Like, it's insane. Like, and even playing Henry, like, it will be a halftime, he's in zone the whole time, and then comes out in half and he's going triangle and 2 on us, like just switching it up and playing mind games on each other. That's what makes it fun too, is like, and then texting about it and busting each other's balls after, and just kind of like, that's the stuff that you kind of share memories, or, share, oh, you're playing St. Pat's tonight, they're going to do this, or try to help each other out. And, it makes it all fun, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to see each other do well. And like, we're the first ones. I remember when we made our first time ever making playoffs, Henry, a couple of the Magic coaches and Kev, they all came and were sitting behind our bench cheering us on. And
Lincoln High School.
Lincoln High School, yep. And we did the same for Henry when he played Lincoln actually too, a couple years later.
Yeah.
We were all in the stands cheering him on. So it's like, our season ends and we all support each other. And at the end of the day, we all just want to see each other do well.
That's awesome.
I think at one point I rushed a non-league game of yours, Brent. You won on the floor.
I think I remember that.
Remember that game?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
I do.
I'm there shouting, and I get so vested. I'm like, yeah, what a pass.
Yes. We hit. It was an overtime game. We hit a buzzer beater, right? Two buzzer beaters.
Unbelievable.
That was
unbelievable.
I think I ran the same play 3 times in a row.
What play was it? So I can write it down.
I think I have it on game film up on the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this is awesome, man. You guys are like so amazing, so much fun talking to you guys. My cheeks hurt from laughing so hard and smiling so much. Is there anyone, I know you guys like all are in a group chat with each other. Is there anyone that like, who gets picked on the most in the group chat? It sounds like Dean might be, but I don't know.
Now Dean's the funny guy. Dean's the funny guy.
He's the funny
I'm
guy.
the funny guy. Yeah.
You labeled
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Gleason.
I don't know. I don't think anyone's safe. And the problem is, if everybody's locked in on one guy, it doesn't matter who they are, then they're locked in on. And it's, no holds barred. All lines are being crossed. Let's put it that way.
I've
It's
heard
probably the best text group chat. If you fall asleep early,
Oh yeah.
You can't, because you wake up to
178 text
89
messages.
new text messages.
Honestly, perfect example. This afternoon, I was out for a little bit. I didn't have my phone on me. 50 text messages. 2 of them were just from friends. The other 48 was from the group chat.
I think that's gonna make this year better too. Like we're gonna be texting all the time, like, and then just looking over at the other sideline, like, oh, or calling each other, or calling different plays, different things that we might been talking about during the text messages.
What do you mean?
I'm ready for that. There's banana splits and stuff like that, but
Beautiful.
We're going to get creative.
Very creative.
No more Team America. No more Play America. It's going to be called Banana Split. So get ready for that
I
one.
like that. That's fair enough. It's catchy.
That's absolutely amazing. That's so fun. I've heard some things too about you guys have like a bingo card on my podcast, and you guys all make fun of each other too.
Yeah. Corey's bingo card. Where's Corey tonight?
Yeah.
Or Miss Corey.
I don't know.
Corey would be the one getting made fun of right now.
Probably.
No question.
Yeah. I'm sure once we go back to the group chat after this, we'll probably be getting on his case.
Yeah, and we can't rip on Sean Kelly too much because he's too smart. He has a good way of spinning it back to make it sound dumb. He's the smart one in the text group, just so you know.
He'll come back with some APA reference stuff, and I'll be like, I'm just a gym teacher. I have no idea what he's talking about. So I'll just like it.
Yeah, just like it. Or just click haha or like it or exclamation point, because it's immediately when I respond, I feel like I lower the IQ points across the board. So it's like when he jumps in, he kind of brings the curve back up.
It's a good balance between each other.
And then Dean's the master of the Bitmoji videos.
They're called Memoji.
Yeah, he has us down, all of us down, all of our characters.
Really?
I
Yeah.
didn't wear my hat tonight, Dean.
Maroon's Bitmoji or emoji.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
That one's going to be coming.
Oh God.
Got a hat on backwards and a St. Pat shirt on.
Yes.
Oh man, you guys, I can't thank you enough for making this happen and being on the show and everything you guys have done for the podcast itself, and how much you guys have helped make it grow and everything like that. And this doing the first coaches roundtable is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. We got to do it more often. You guys really made me laugh a lot and good insight from each other, talking about some stuff, and definitely got off the rails at the end there, but that's what makes it a lot of fun. So you guys, thank you so much for being on the show. And
Well, maybe we can do like a playoff coaches preview roundtable.
oh yeah, we could definitely do that. We might have to do some bracketology. We'll have to do a release of all the games and stuff like that. I might have to copy you, Coach Coleman, on your division realignment.
Definitely.
Henry, are you already
Absolutely.
guaranteeing playoffs? Henry, are you already guaranteeing playoffs? Is that what you said?
No. There is no guarantee of playoffs.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know. I wanted to throw down my scouting report just in case you did.
No. I don't want to give you any extra motivational speeches in your locker room.
Oh, I can't wait till that speech. And you know what he said? He guaranteed playoffs.
Cue up the podcast.
No, I'm going to put this right into I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to play the podcast. Get another view. He'll get another view.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Greg, you got to be careful. Henry's very good with the Photoshop, so he could do the same thing.
Yeah.
I can spin it around.
That's true. I'm still doing it.
You forget about the power of this group. The fact that Dunkzilla is going to be made on the T-shirts. I mean, that's talent. You got to be very careful. Tread lightly.
Oh, if you don't think Dunkzilla is on my scouting report too, you're wrong.
You wait. That play is going to be awesome.
I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna have to get Dunkzilla T-shirts made for everyone. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Screw the Roadie Runback T-shirts. Dunkzilla T-shirts.
Just call. Yeah, I think you should just call instead of Roadie Runback, just call it Dunkzilla.
Dunkzilla.
But I honestly, in all seriousness, like what you're doing has been so good for not only the coaches but the kids and basketball in general. I just think, especially in Rhode Island, we needed something like this. And I know, we've talked in the past. Henry and I have talked in the past about doing something similar, and it just takes over, and this it falls to the bottom of some of the lists that we have in front of us. So by you doing this, it's been a great outlet for coaches, for players, for everyone in Rhode Island, and we get a kick out of it. Love hearing the insight from other coaches, because since we're all here constantly learning, the stories alone are worth the downloads. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's all like I'd rather listen to this than part of my take. So you got my download on this, and like I hear it from different people. I got text message when I had my thing. I got text message from like my next door neighbor like 20 years ago. I just listened to the podcast, and like my cousins and like people I haven't heard from in like years. Like you were saying, Pat Mahal, and like a kid who I grew up with. Like he listened to it. He's like, oh, that was awesome. I heard that. So big ups to you and putting around high school and on the map and coaches and all that kind of stuff. So it's awesome what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see where it can go, because like right now it's like the interviews and with the kids and getting to know the kids and coaches and hearing some of the backstories, but there's so much like area and space that can be done with this, of like coaches roundtables, like if you want to do rankings, with somebody else, like it's just like it is what it is. Like we joke about rankings and stuff like that, but it is stuff that coaches like, kids like, and then just like breakdowns, like weekly breakdowns, like what happened this week in Rhode Island high school basketball, like things like that. There's so much room, so much availability, and it is lacking. And obviously, like we have Providence Journal, we have our local newspapers, but like to have something that kind of covers the whole state, it's something the kids really enjoy. When I was in high school, everyone loves like reading and seeing this stuff, and hopefully it's about yourself. Like everyone, who doesn't like hearing about themselves? So no, we all wish you the best, and we want to keep this going and help you out. And once the season gets going, hopefully we can break down some more stuff with you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. You guys have really been a big support, and everything that you guys have done helped me grow, and making suggestions, stuff like that. It's just been awesome. It's been awesome to get to know you guys too. I feel like been introduced to this whole new basketball like family in Rhode Island, and it's been so much fun listening to you guys and talking group chats and speaking with you guys. It's just been so much fun. I get so much enjoyment out of it, and without you guys, it wouldn't be what it is today. It's continually growing and growing and growing.
That's the thing. You bring to life so many stories that you wouldn't hear about otherwise by interviewing these coaches, all these different experiences over the years, whether it's in game, at practice, or anything else. Like I said, it's just great that you're bringing it to light. So like I said, best of luck, keep it going. And as Matt mentioned, as far as pretty much it's unlimited as far as where it can go from here.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'll probably make the announcement now, but I think starting once you guys get the season going, hopefully we can get some get some highlights and stuff like that. I would like to, make the sports center for Rhode Island basketball and, get the highlights and get the box scores and stuff like that. And, really
Nice.
start to make this a Sunday show. Have you guys just, do some roundtables here and there, talk about some games and try to treat it like a sports center, interview players after games, big games that come up and stuff like that. That's what's going to happen on this. This is actually going to be released on a Sunday. So this is going to be the start of the whole Rhodey Runback
Awesome.
TV series or whatever channel or whatever it is. And, I got a great sponsor out there as well too, as we all know. So thank you guys so much for all your help, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you. Have a good one. And this will be out on next Sunday.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks.